Hey everybody out there, back again. Just finished off my Country Gentleman with Lane BCA in there. So it's been about 15-20 minutes since I finished that guy off. So Cobb Tuesday, we got to do another Cobb, right? So here we have the Missouri Meerschaum Great Dane. And so this time I've got it loaded up with some of the Lane 1Q. And the sun is really starting to, I don't know, peek in and out of the clouds. And so there's a lot of glare on my screen. So I'm not for sure what you guys can see and what you can't see. So here we go. Second pipe in my life. Another corn cob. Corn Cob Tuesday. The BCA smoked very well. Smoked, I had to, again, at that 10-12 minute mark, I had to relight it. And then I noticed, I don't know, that bowl probably lasted me 30 minutes, 35 minutes, somewhere right in there. I noticed we're just getting lighter and lighter smoke. I tamp a little bit more. Lighter and lighter smoke. And so I kind of dug around with my aristocob.com tamper, the golf tee part of it. Loosened up some of the ash, dump it out. Look, more ash. Loosen up some of the ash, dump it out. And loosen up some of the ash, dump it out, and there was nothing but the corn cob down there. So it smoked all the way through, smoked really well. Didn't have an issue with it. Again, I was expecting something a little bit bolder. But I think that's just the background of where I'm coming from. And I remember when I first started smoking cigars, it was the same thing. It took me a little while to figure out kind of what I liked, you know, different, whether it be different wrappers or different countries and everything where it came from. And I think I've mentioned before, I do not like flavored cigars whatsoever. I do not like the really sweet ones. I like those that have that peppery, zingy, you know, where it's a black pepper kick, you know, something like that. The woodsy, leathery kind of flavors is what I like in there. So again, here we are with the Great Dane loaded with Lane 1Q. I'm trying to remember. And so, well, on my screen it looks nothing but 100% white. So I'll see once we get this on the computer how that comes out there. I try to lock exposure right about in here on my phone. That way if the sun does change or anything, the background might get brighter or darker, but hopefully recording in here won't. Hopefully my face will stay about the same exposure level. And then I've got a question for you guys here in just a minute. Now, here's a question. Every now and then I'm getting a little bit of crackling noise. Is that just because it's kind of the moisture in there is what I'm guessing? Since on the BCA I dried it out just a little bit for, you know, 10 minutes or so. This I really didn't have time to dry out. I just pulled it out of the bag and loaded it in the pipe. But like on every draw I can hear that crackling, and it's a little bit, seems to be a little bit tougher to keep going, but that may change as we get into this. I'm guessing that's just because of the moisture level. I may need to dry it out a little bit. But my question is, on your pipe tobaccos, everybody refers to their cellar, or, you know, you talk to the these cigar guys, they always talk about the humidor. You know, I've got all of this in my humidor. I've got this many or this different kinds of tobacco in my cellar. And some of you could have 10, 20, 40, 50, 100, who knows, 200 different types. My question is, how do you guys keep track of that? I'll tell you what as far as what you like, what you don't like, how much you have, I'll tell you what I started to do when I first started getting into cigars. Yeah, it's a little bit tougher to keep going. I started out with like a little notebook. I would write down in the notebook the date that I bought the cigar, and of course the type, the brand, the wrapper, the binder, the filler, what countries they came from, what size, you know, length, ring gauge, etc., etc., the price, where it came from. And then when I would smoke that cigar, I would go back to that page in the notebook, and then I would kind of rate it. Whether I liked it, whether I didn't like it, what kind of flavors I picked up. Was it an easy draw? Was it tough to keep lit? Good construction, bad construction? You know, threw it out at halfway through because it was a dog rocket. Smoked it down to the nub because it was great, you know, etc., etc. Well, after about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months and filling up 2 or 3 notebooks like that, I decided that wasn't going to work anymore. So I finally found an app for my phone. And so, sorry, I'm going to roll down this other window, see if I can get a little bit of cross draft here to get some of the smoke out of here. I found an app on the phone that would do virtually the same thing. Where I could punch in when I bought it, where I bought it, how much it was, and what type of cigar, you know, brand, Oliva, Serie V, Melanio, for example. And then it has an incredibly huge database, and 99% of the cigars it knows, once I type in Oliva V Melanio, it knows where the what country of origin, wrapper, you know, country that the wrapper, binder, filler came from. And then I could key in how many. When I go to smoke it, I load up the app. I'm smoking one. It would remove one out of the inventory. And then I had a place for like tasting notes. So I could do the same thing. And then I could go back, and if I'm in the cigar store looking to buy something, if I didn't want to try something new, I could go through that app, scroll through, find out what I like. And you can rate it by like 1 through 5 stars or something like that. So what I'm looking for, what do you guys do with your pipe tobaccos? If you got, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different tobaccos, how do you keep track of them, whether you like them or not? Do you write them in a notebook? Do you remember them? You have a spreadsheet? Do you use an app on the phone? So far, about the only app I have found is called Pipe Tool, I believe. Not Pipe Tools, but I believe it's called Pipe Tool. And so, and it has a lot of that in there where you can, I don't know whether it has a database of all the tobaccos. If you know, key in, you know, McBaron's, is it going to have a list of all their tobaccos? You go pick a certain tobacco, and then it has, you know, what the blend is made of. But it does have a place where you can put in where you got it from, when you got it, how much of it you're smoking, you know, etc., etc. And I believe it has I don't know if it has a place to rate it, but it has a place to put tasting notes in there. Is anybody out there using that app? My issue with it is it hasn't been updated in over 4 years. 3 or 4 years, the app hasn't been updated. If it's a free app, I'd download it, try it, and I can get rid of it. But I don't want to pay $5-6 for an app and find out it hadn't been updated in 3 or 4 years and it's no good anymore. It's not current, you know. So I'm just curious what you guys are doing. How do you keep track of them? How do you know whether you write it on the baggie? Do you write it on the tin or something like that? You know, this is good, this is bad. You know, I want to always keep this in stock. I never want to try this again. So I'm just curious how you guys are keeping track of that. So let me know in the comments, or send me a message, make a video on it. I was thinking maybe just, you know, starting a spreadsheet, because I can start a spreadsheet on the computer, Dropbox it to my phone, and then just go back and forth. And whenever I get something, I can enter in all the information into the spreadsheet and then leave a little room for tasting notes, and then just update it that way. I'm kind of a gadget geek. If I can do it on the computer or on my phone, I would rather do it that way rather than keep a notebook where I write everything down. So anyway, let me know what you guys are doing. If you have, and you may not do anything. I don't know. I just like to keep track of it. That way, if I hate XYZ or I love ABC, I know what to get, what to avoid in the future. I know I also use Evernote on the computer and my phone. And a lot of times I've started one for pipe tobaccos. I've had one going for cigars for several years. Whenever I see somebody do a review or talk about one, I have a notebook in Evernote called Cigars to Try. And then I've got one called now, you know, pipe tobacco to try. And then on cigars, I've got one called Cigars to Keep Buying and Cigars to Never Buy Again. And as I try them, they come off of the try list and they go in one of those other two lists. Yes, these are okay, keep buying them, or no, never buy this one again. And I'm sure you guys have had similar experience with pipe tobacco. You're going to try one and say, man, that's the most fantastic thing I've ever had, or man, I can't stand this. Dump that thing in the toilet and get rid of it. You know, gift this to one of my enemies or something like that. So anyway, just give me your thoughts. I'm just curious, see what you guys are doing. And if somebody's got a great idea out there, I'll steal it from you. If not, I'll come up with something. Right now, I'm thinking the spreadsheet idea. I don't know whether I could do something. I don't think I can do a fillable form in Evernote. Maybe you just keep a spiral notebook or something like that, like a composition notebook or something. I don't know. So anyway, surely you got to keep some way to keep track of what you're liking and what you're not. So anyway, Corncob Tuesday. Great Dane from Missouri Meerschaum from Aristocob.com. I'm sure I could get these corn cobs anywhere, online or even locally, but I would rather wait a few days, wait a week, get it from Scott, support somebody in the community that I know is in the community. There may be other people in the community selling them, I don't know yet. I'm still figuring every time, you know, I think I've got all these subscribers that I'm subscribing to and I'm watching their videos, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, here's a new guy. Not a new guy, new to me. He's got great videos, and he's been doing videos for a year or something. How did I miss this guy? And so I just keep finding people. And so I'm going to let you guys go. I'm approaching the 15-minute mark. I'm going to try to add my little title page in there, so that'll probably push it over the 15-minute mark. Again, thanks for taking the time, sitting in with me on my second ever pipe. Oh, you know what? I don't know that I talked about the 1Q. I talked about the BCA. I'm not getting much from it. I may just not be an aromatic guy. I don't know. I'll try some more. I mean, again, they're not bad. And again, the cigars I like are the ones where I can feel that I'm smoking a cigar. I can feel that smoke. I like a full-bodied, medium to full-bodied, you know, mild to medium strength in a cigar. I would call this, in my cigar terminology, I would call this mild strength, mild bodied. And so, anyway, I'm going to sign out. I will catch you all later. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sitting in. I appreciate it. Have a good one.